Hey, 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 hey. Just waiting for some people to come in. Let's see here. Wait for some people to come in. How do I? This don't even look the same. I gotta. Okay, there we go. Hi, Mama. Waiting for some people to come in. Let me see if this is on. Because then the doggone messed up my screen real thing. I'm gonna have to get another Let me see. Thing. Oh. Waiting for somebody to come in. Come on, get down. Just wait. Just go watch TV. I'll come get you in a second. Just go watch TV. Yeah, when I'm done live, I'll call you. Can I do live with you? No, not right now, baby. Just go ahead. Let me do it by myself. Do this one by myself. Can they hear anything? Is it on? Let me do it by myself. Do this one by myself. Hey, who's here? Hi, how y'all doing? Let me do it by myself. Do this one by myself. Hey, how y'all doing? Hey, boo thing. How you doing? How you doing? Y'all, I'm just sitting here bored. I just wanted to come on here about just staying the truth on who you are. Mama, you have to pick. Okay, just. Mom, you have to pick this up. Okay, just wait, Mama. One thing about training is what I've just learned. I just been seeing a lot of stuff lately that's just been crazy. It's just crazy to me that people live their life like, okay, so some people, of course, everybody's not born. Hey, Jesse, everybody's not born with a silver spoon in their mouth. As children, of course, we don't choose who our parents are. We don't choose our circumstances as children. We're born into certain circumstances, and we learn how to live with them. We learn how to live with them, right? So through those circumstances, we choose to either be what we see or strive very hard to be everything opposite of what we see or what we grow up around, right? Once you become an adult, at that point, when you get to take control of your life, right? You at that point can be held accountable for the things that you do at that point. But what the family that you're born into, you can't be blamed for because again, you had no choice. But as you get grown, you make decisions throughout your life, whether good or bad, right? But they're still your choices. They're your decisions. That whatever you decided to do as an adult, stand true on who you are. Whatever life that you had to live to make it, you still breathing. What are you ashamed of? Anything that you went through or going through? What are you ashamed of? What are you ashamed? Why would you be ashamed in front of anybody about who you are? That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. If God forbid I was living under a bridge and breathing, that's my life. I'm living under the bridge. You ain't living under here with me. So why would I be ashamed to you? You bleed just like I do, right? One day we all gonna transition through here. We all just, this just a stop. This ain't our final destination. No one person is better than the other, regardless of any materialistic stuff you got or don't have. Listen, the word is your oyster, right? So if you don't want, hey, it's Ashanti for me. If you don't want the glamorous life, why? How can somebody else make you feel like you less than them because it's not what you want for yourself? Only you can determine what you want for your life, right? Even if you live in a hut, if that hut is what makes you happy, that's your hut. You don't have to change your hut and get a match because somebody else think that you're beneath them because you live in a hut. Like the problem with society these days, people be too focused on what other people think about them, right? If you done bounced up and down on a million Peter Whackers, so what? That's your toot toot that done bounced up and down on a million of them. What you care about what somebody else say about what you do with your coon coon? That's your coon coon. Why would you have to explain to somebody how many times you done twirled around on something with your toon toon? The toon toon you got to carry around every day. The toon toon you got to maintenance. You know what I'm saying? If you fumbled yourself and gave your body to too many people and you feel like you've given your body to too many people, that's your choice to make. That's your decision to make. You don't have to live your life according to what society think is right. When you go, that casket don't got no bunk beds, baby. You going in that mug all by yourself. It won't be nobody else with you. But you don't live your whole life trying to please everybody but yourself, trying to be appeasing to everybody else but yourself. That's one miserable life to live, right? And what people also got to understand is this: what you put out into the world is when you get what you get back. I don't care if it's your child, your mama, your daddy, your sister, your brother, even though you love them to death, right? You do not determine their demise. The things that they put down, the seeds that they sow, is the harvest that they will reap. And I can't stand to see people when they see somebody getting their karma because it's somebody they love. Oh, this wrong. Was it wrong when they was planting those sour seeds? Where was you when they was putting down them sour seeds? When you could have maybe stopped them from having to reap a sour harvest, you didn't. You condoned it. You promoted it. You cheered it on. They was your superhero when they was being a negative person and just a disgusting, despicable person. All up in somebody else's house but they own. All that you was cheering them on when they was trying to beat somebody else down to the ground. But then when God say knock on their door, all right, baby, now it's your turn. Let's see how you handle this same harvest. Let's see how you handle everything that you said negative about somebody else. Let's see how you handle when the shoes is on your foot. I'm not gonna let it take you out, but I'm gonna let you see how it feel to be in a situation that you put somebody else in when you could have just chosen not to. You could have chosen to mind your business, mind your house, raise your kids, do your thing. Because all of us got our own problems, right? All of us got our own situations. Everybody got their own problems, whether you talk about it or not. It don't make it no less true. It don't make the issues that you're going through no less visible, no less there, right? And anything that's built off a rotten foundation shall not stand. But what is sad to see is so many despicable adults that always talk about children, what children do, children, but they worse than the kids. But these are the so-called adults that's supposed to be leading the children, but y'all out here leading and following another grown person in their wrongdoing. But when they karma come back, it's wrong. Okay. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back, y'all. I don't know what happened. Okay, can y'all hear me now? Oh, there we go. There we go. I got playback. Y'all can hear me? I can hear me on the other phone. But yeah, like I was saying, I had got a call, y'all, and once I got that call, I couldn't come back. I was waiting for the sound to come back, but it wouldn't. I don't know what that was about. But yeah, like I'm saying, y'all grown people walking around here can't stand in your own truth, around here lying, because you done been around here talking about everybody else in the world in the most negative way, right? The most negative way that you can. You took one situation that, that may have been bad in somebody else's life. Like I said, we all make mistakes. Some mistakes be worse than the others. But the whole thing about what people have to understand, you can't tell nobody what type of mama they is. It's up to their children, the ones that they're actually raising, the ones that who mama they actually are. That's for them. That's their call to make, right? That's their call to make. But like I said, like I was saying, I can't stand a bunch of grown people walking around here because you see your friend or your mom or your sister, somebody getting their karma. Now it's wrong. No, baby, it's called karma. And you can scream to the mountaintop, baby, when it's your time. If you done sowed sour seeds, baby, your karma gonna get you too. Nobody's above karma. So if you want to do something, when you see your friend doing crazy stuff, you see your friend being evil, stop them in the midst of the evil doings because you know karma got everybody address. And that one day you will have to reap the harvest of the seeds that you've sown. But it's just sad that anybody think they have to come out here on social media in front of a bunch of strangers and lie about who they are. And then when somebody say the truth to somebody who actually would know who they are, it's questionable. What? This somebody y'all just going by what somebody told y'all are. Somebody telling you who they are, and y'all gonna tell them, oh, that's not true. That can't. It is true, stupid. It's true. People lie. That's what the internet is. You can be whoever you want to be on here, dummies. Like y'all be so pathetic, bro. It's just crazy to see that these are supposed to be the leaders of the children that's coming up, but y'all so quick to judge a child, stay in a child's place. You're a grown up and don't know your place. You're a grown up being led by strangers. Like how ditzy. Like y'all, this is the most stupidest. Like y'all, calm down. Y'all, I just never seen no foolishness like what I be seeing on this here internet in my life. That's why when I came out, I was straight up about who I am. I don't got nothing. Uh-huh. I got what I got. I ain't gonna say nothing, God. Let me not sound ungrateful. Because God has always carried me and my nine, okay? And my husband. He's always carried us. He's always kept us comfortable. So we comfortable, right? That's it. That's all. Okay? We comfortable. And I'm cool with that. Cause ain't nobody on this internet giving me nothing. Ain't nobody taking care of me and mine. Don't nobody on this internet walked in my shoes. So I'm gonna hold my head down about anything that I've done in my life to a bunch of strangers. Who are y'all? Y'all didn't add or take away nothing from my life. But you see somebody on here, you want to talk about people on Section 8, but you on Section 8. You want to talk about people with health problems, but you got health problems. You want to talk about people that's having issues with their kids, but you got issues with your kids. You want to talk about people how their appearance look when your appearance ain't, up to par. God loves everybody. You know, is everybody. Everybody got their own opinion about people. I don't judge people. Look, I try my best not to, right? Because God has a tendency to make stuff show up at my front door, honey. Because I used to talk about bald headed little children. Because I had 7 children, even boys with a head full of hair. But I was so big on this one girl and her child, her little bald headed daughter, and I messed around and had a bald headed daughter, right? So I'm gonna be real cautious and I'm real cautious and careful. This is how God showed up stuff to my door, right? You want to talk about somebody else's life? Now you deal with it. So I used to have to pinch that head together. And every time I was pinching that head together, I was thinking about the way I used to talk about that girl, little baby. And I learned my lesson right then and there, okay? I learned my lesson about keeping my mouth off people appearances, right? But what I'm just saying is everybody got eyes, right? Everybody got eyes, so everybody can see what they see. That's all I'm saying. But you can't come around and make everybody else appearance, their living situation, their children, your focus when all 3 of those things is screwed up for you. That makes zero sense to me. And then for people to clapping on and yeah, 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 she right, she did. Y'all is pathetic. the scum of the earth, some followers. Clearly, none of y'all listen to what your mom and daddy told you be a leader and not a follower. Like, I've never in my life, this is one thing I can't say the internet has showed me how ignorant some people are. How many ignorant adults live in this world. But you're so quick to judge everybody else, right? You're so quick to dig in everybody else's closet but your own. Okay, so the laws of the land are just what they are. Karma got everybody address, baby. And I don't care how much you love somebody. If you love them, stop them when they're doing negative stuff. If you love them, encourage them to uplift people. Encourage them to speak life into people and not down people. I don't care what you see, because what you got to understand, when people put stuff on this internet, it's still only a allotted amount of time that you see their life. You cannot dictate somebody's whole life off of an hour video, a minute video, a 10-minute skit, or whatever they choose to put out into this world. You still can't judge their whole life off of, even if their whole life has been messed up, right? As long as they breathing, that means that God still has a purpose for them. There is still a purpose on their life. So who are you to decide, or decide that you're better than them, or that your life is better than theirs? Your life don't mean no more than theirs do in God's eyes. I don't care how much money in your bank account, know what kind of car you drive, what house you live in. You still ain't no better than the next person. And everything you got today can be gone in tomorrow, or within the next hour or 10 minutes, it can be gone. And that's a fact, Jack. Y'all be so, like, this is the most delusional stuff. And let me tell you something. If I'm beefing with my child, if any of my 9 children, because like I told, me and my son was having a conversation the other day about credit. He said, Mama, I wish that I had somebody when I was growing up to teach me about credit. I said, son, I didn't have that to give you. Your mom, your grandma and your papa, they was gone by the time I was 15 years old. And the people that I stayed with until I got my own place, I guess that wasn't a big thing back in the day either, because nobody never told mama about it. That's why I messed mine up, okay? That's why I'm grown and in my age trying to correct everything that I broke, right? Because I had nobody to teach me that. I said, so son, I didn't have that to give you. I said, is that something? Matter of fact, this conversation was just yesterday. And we said we're going to do a live panel about, just the things that a mama standing in her truth about, the things I just did not have to give. And in this world, like I told him, there's a lot of things that I see today I should have been able to give them, but I didn't have it to give. And a lot of the things that they experience in this new world, I never experienced. So there's no way I could have prepared them for it, right? Because it wasn't nothing that ever came across in my life. So, but he said, Mama, I don't blame you, because I know you was a young mama and you didn't have it to give. He said, but I want to make sure. We got on the conversation because I got a son graduating this year. He was like, Mom, I want to teach him about credit. I said, cool, son. He was just talking about his brother who just turned 18. He wanted to get him to get a credit card. And I was like, I don't think he should get a credit card. I think he should get a secure credit card, if anything, son. Where he put his money in there, and he used his own money and pay it back, because I think he'll be more motivated to pay it back because it's his money. He messed that money up. You losing your own money versus getting him a credit card at 18, and he starts seeing that, the understanding, how you use a credit card. In order for it to actually work for you, you need to be paying off the full balance. I said he ain't gonna want to give up the way he spend versus talking about using that on a bill, the way he like to buy his shoes and stuff like that. I just don't think an actual credit card is smart for him. I think a secure credit card, that's my opinion. He said, well, Mom, no, I think he should get a credit card. So I told him it ain't no back and forth for us to go, son. I said what I said, you said what you said. Whoever he choose to listen to is who he choose to listen to. But I can't just get up and scream to the top of my lungs about credit, because I don't know about it. I'm still in my old age learning about it. Because again, I had nobody around me to teach it to me. But I can stand in my truth and say I didn't give that to my babies. And I wish I knew it back then to give it to them. Right? So once they started out into the world, they could have started off right from the jump. Now, I did tell my children, everybody stay at home. It was a program here called NACA. I told them, stay at home, go through the NACA program. So when you jump out, you'll be jumping out into a house you buying versus going out to rent, right? I did tell them that. None of them listened to that, but I told them that. The girls, once they got their little dudes and, whatever they want to go. You know what I'm saying? Because it couldn't happen in mama house. So they left. And I understand that. But like I tell them, when they go through things now, I tell them, well, we had a plan. Y'all didn't stick to it. So what y'all go through in this life, although I may be saddened watching y'all not live, the best life and have overloaded bank accounts and, whatever in this world that y'all want. Unfortunately, I have to understand that y'all have to deal with the circumstances that y'all set forth for yourself. Because every decision in y'all life, y'all made, not mama, right? Y'all made those decisions. So just like I had to go through and get to, y'all gonna have to too. But understand God will carry you, right? And I'm gonna be here to help as much as I can, but I'm not gonna beat myself up about what you don't get right. I'm not going. That's just like my daughter. She a nurse. I can't brag on the fact that she just became a LPN and she back in now to be RN. That was never my course. I never went to try to be no nurse. I ain't taught her nothing about being no nurse. So I'm not gonna ride her coattails and say, "Oh, my baby's a nurse. My baby's a nurse. That's not my accomplishment. That's hers." Now, what I can talk about is the degrees that I have and all the obstacles that I've overcome, right? To earn what I had. But I'm not gonna ride the coattail of my daughter accomplishments. Although her accomplishments overall, if she keeps on keeping on, will be bigger than what I've done thus far. But as a mother, that's what I want. I always tell my children, be nothing like me, be way greater than me. Be bigger than anything that I could have ever imagined. That's where my grace gonna come from. That's where my pride gonna come from, right? And I congratulate you, but I'm not riding the coattail of your accomplishments. They ain't mine to ride. They not for me. But it's just sad to see that people when they people see people getting their karma now they think it's so wrong. Oh, shut up. You should have been stopping them from reaping bad seeds. Okay? You should have been telling them leave people alone. When you see people and their child, even though it may have been on here, when you see them getting it together, what you still talking about it for? You could tell it's no good intent because that's still a trauma that happened to somebody's child, right? And when he came out and talked about it, when he stopped talking about it, it should have stopped being talked about. Because again, it's not your trauma to keep talking about. But now that roles are reversing, now it's wrong. Like y'all, stuff don't be making no sense, right? Stuff don't be making no sense. And like I said, I'm only doing the video because this ain't even what my page is about. But it's just because I saw the nonsense. And it's just heartbreaking to see so many pathetic adults, bro. That's what it's about. Like, did y'all be talking about these kids doomed? I see why. Look at the adults they got around them. I see why they doomed. Because they got a bunch of pick me behind adults that's trying to give them life lessons or that's trying to guide them, trying to be a pick me for illusion of a person on the internet. Pathetic. Pathetic and ridiculous. Like, I understand supporting people because when people come on the internet, it's either the bond, their reaction channels. Either they on here to talk about everybody else, or they on here to talk about their own family. They on here to inspire. They on here to do something, right? But at the end of the day, this all still an illusion of a person. That's it. You know how they say life is just a dream? It's just the illusion of a person. How can you come out of character and be a total I don't want to use the wrong word, imbecile over an illusion of a person? Again, people can be whoever they want to be on here. Hey, Glam. People can be whoever they want to be on this internet. And then you see people attack them, say, me and my child get into it, I can say whatever I want to my child. You understand? I don't need your approval, nor do I need your help. That's my baby. You understand? That's my baby. You may not like what I call them or whatever, but that's my child. Let me and my child deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Don't say nothing to my baby. Because now, me and you got a problem because you ain't finna go over there playing with my child and think you about to come over here and have humble pie with me. Nah, that's a no-go. It ain't, I don't care what my child did. That's my child. Let me handle my child. If you mess with me and you know how I love my child, don't ever get out of pocket with mine. You understand? Because once you get out of pocket with my child, you're now my enemy. I don't care. You out of pocket. You out of pocket. And one thing too, when it comes to my child, like I tell my children, and even in their grown age, they can't cuss around me. You understand? I was a young mom and I know respect is respect. That's what I require. Some parents cool with their kids cussing around them. Good for you. Me is a logo. And me, you're not gonna get on this internet and straightly disrespect a person that's your senior. That's what I'm here for. I got that. You shut up, you sit down. Go play with kids your age. I don't care if you is grown. You got me for that. Because you gotta understand. That's one of your sins that I'm willing to carry. Because you understand, you disrespecting a senior, honey, let me tell you, your tail cutting ain't gonna be nice. God ain't gonna play with you neither. Because God sees all. And he don't miss a beat. He sit high, he look low. Like that ridiculous stuff y'all be out here doing is crazy. And not it ain't nothing that I carry home because it ain't my style, right? It ain't my style. But it's just sad to see that there's so many adult style. That's sad. That's sad. That is a bunch of ridiculous older people out here trying to make another grown person wrong right because you like her. Nah, what you should have been doing is telling her to chill out. We tired of hearing, the same thing been going on 2, 3, 4 years. This mom and this son have made up, lay off the lady. What she doing ain't helping you at all. And then turn around, reverse. Only one different thing was not your life. One thing different from what that lady was doing was not your life. Everything else was at your front door, hidden in your closet. How that make sense? But they always say miserable people do miserable stuff. Like you ain't happy with your own life, so you trying to get a smile by beating down another woman. That make your day go better. But it ain't gonna change the fact of what's going on with you. It's not gonna change what's going on in your house. It's not gonna heal your children that's hurting, grown or not. You can't talk about nobody being a mama. Because according to your children, you ain't been such a good one. And I know if you ask my children, they ain't gonna say I've been the perfect one. So how could I come out here and talk about somebody parenting? I can't. I can't talk about the mom and nobody being. I can only talk about the type of parent that I've been. Right? Which my children say I did all right. They be like, Mom, you did all right. You did what you could. They understand. Because I make it very clear. I gave you what I got. That was it. I gave you what I had, baby. And I don't apologize for it. Because I could have made a different decision. You know what I'm saying? I gave you what I got. And that's all I had. That's that. Right? And anything that was a generational curse or traumas that I may have carried on to you, if I have, I'll ask them all the time, tell me, right? Because I may not have known that it hurt you, right? I may have not known. To me, it may have just been normal. But I'm not going to discount their feelings is, oh, that wasn't that serious. Oh, you just want a reason to say, you can't tell nobody what affects them. You can't tell nobody what has traumatically, affected the way that they live their life or what feelings they have compressed. It's a lot of times as children, you compress emotions, you compress feelings until one day it combusts, right? Because even as an African American person, you're told to be strong. So that's all you know how to do. We feel weak when we give ourselves grace to have a moment of weakness. Hey, Miss Jackie Brown, we feel weak when we give ourselves a moment to have a moment of weakness. In the Black community, that's a no-go. You ain't finna sit around feeling sorry for yourself or pitying yourself. You got to get up. You got to keep moving. And a lot of us carry the weight of the world on our shoulders. We're responsible for everybody, right? We have to pour from our cup, and nobody's there to refill it. But we still got to pour. Whether somebody's there to refill it or not, we got to figure out a way to refill it. And as quick as you can refill it, is somebody else there to drain it. But instead of setting boundaries, we go ahead and let them drain it because the love we have for them. Until the day that you wake up and you find yourself sick, destitute, and you notice now that you've given everybody all that you got, there's nothing left for you. Even your children won't refill you. Even your mama, your daddy, the ones that's supposed to love you, they won't refill you because it's not their problem. You fill them up so much that they're having better lives. They're learning how to smile. But nobody ever thought while you was pushing everybody towards their dreams and goals, nobody ever thought to take a look back and look at you and make sure you was all right. Nah, they left you curled up in the fetal position. Long as whatever you gave them was able to get them where they want to go, they don't care nothing about what you had to sacrifice to give it to them. Long as it was given. A lot of people have well, I ain't gonna say a lot of people. Everybody has a story. Some worse than others. Some people's story are way worse than others. But stand up in your story. If your story is something that you choose to share with the world or with anybody, stand up in it. Don't ever let nobody make you think you got to hold your head down because of your circumstances. They your circumstances. Now, it's different when people don't offer their circumstances to the internet and stuff like that, and people go digging. That's messed up. Because people, they do deserve privacy. And you should never be that doggone wrapped up in a stranger anyway that you even care. But if that's what their content is about, that's what they're doing about their life, be truthful. And if you're out here beating somebody else down, please make sure that you're willing to stand in the truth about yourself for facts. Don't keep lying. Don't keep, like, it's crazy to see somebody just constantly lying. Like, okay, if you on Section 8, good. You on Section 8, good for you. I wish I had it. The time in my life when I did have it for 4 years, when I decided to leave my husband, well, he was my boyfriend then. When I decided to leave him for the 4 years that I had a baby, I loved it. And when I came back to paying market rent, it wasn't nothing happy about it. You understand me? Then everybody be like, oh, it's government assistance. Please. I worked the whole way through. They was taking taxes out of my check, baby. So let me tell you something. Whatever the repay is, whether it's food stamps, government assistance, whatever it was at that time, I appreciated it. And let me tell you, when it went away, I missed it. The hell I'm act like that's an embarrassment for. Then 4 years when I had it, baby, when people would say, oh, you live in such and such, ain't they under Section 8? Yeah. Uh-huh. Yep. They are. How much of that such and such rent you gotta pay? 569.74. Okay? That's how much of it I pay. The heck I'm gonna be ashamed for. I was a single. I had to left the man I was with. I was a single mother. I was getting help. Like I said, my parents been gone. So if I couldn't help myself, nobody was gonna help me. So you think for those 4 years I was gonna not get it? Hey, Miss LB, you think I was gonna not get it? Because I'm gonna be ashamed of what some people out in the world that ain't gonna help me, ain't gonna pay a bill anyway, ain't gonna contribute nothing to my household, what they gonna think? Are you stupid? Are you dumb? You think I'm gonna let my children well-being be based off the thoughts or opinions of strangers? Or even people that I know too that ain't contributing. I don't care. I don't care what they think. If you ain't doing nothing to help me raise mine, don't worry about how I'm raising mine. Long as I'm not over there physically hurting them, everything else, you need to mind your business. Long as they got shoes, clothes, food. Okay? Hey, Miss Libra folk. I'm doing my best to protect their mental with what I have, right? I'm doing my best not to create childhood traumas like the traumas that I had. I'm keeping them safe. I'm doing all that I know how to do as a mama. Everything else ain't your business, right? Unless they come to you for help and they say I'm doing something that I may not know I'm doing, and for some reason they scared to come to me and talk to me about it. Other than that, you need to mind your business. It's not your business. Ain't no perfect parent out here. It ain't no parent books out here on how to be the perfect parent. You do the best that you can with what you got. And if you see that is not enough, you work your tail off until you make it enough. You don't sit around and make excuses or try to beat down somebody else because they going through something. Or unfortunately, they've been made big on the internet. You don't take your time to beat them down every day because it make you feel better beating down somebody else. Your life not going to improve at all. Because that's not how God works. What you do have to understand is that the devil gives gifts too. God don't bless the unjust. That's period, point blank. So be careful. You look at your heart, you look at your life, you look what you're doing to people, and you really think about where your gifts, because they damn sure ain't blessings, where your gifts coming from. Piss me off. Around here with this foolishness, and it's really a bunch of grown people here acting like they can't see what they can see. You can see what's really going on, and y'all sitting out here acting dumb. Just to appease another grown person. Like y'all ain't got no mind of y'all own. Cause ain't no way all y'all out here this dumb. Ain't no way it's this many dumbass people walking around here. Then going on there attacking that child. She's an adult, but she's a child. Her truth is her truth. You ain't live in that house with them. Her truth is her truth. The other sister, whatever her truth is, it's her truth. What's wrong with y'all? And I'm very emotional about that because I had a mama that physically was abusive. She would tell everybody, "Oh, she just too grown. She too grown. She too grown." My family, they would come to Baltimore. My auntie especially come to Baltimore and turn around, look like every summer. Top, she coming to get me. You ain't coming to get me. I ain't going away. I ain't too grown. Only if you knew what's really going on in this household. Only if she knew that what was really going on in the household. That my mama get mad because I stand up for her. When my stepdad decide that he want to come in the house high and put his hands on her, she don't fight back, but I do. I'm a child trying to protect my mama. When I'm a baby, an innocent child, I'm getting broomsticks to try to protect her. And she want to put me out because she love a man more than she love her kids. She want a piece of Peter Wacker. You know, I couldn't, when I grew up, I was like, I got to, when this Peter Wacker, I got to see what kind of Peter Wacker turn you against your own children. And I ain't met one yet. Okay? A long time, I was like, Peter Wacker just must not be good because, baby, it make you put a man before your children. But although I judged her like that so long, once she passed away, because my family believed it, because I was a child, back then children would be seen, not heard, so my voice meant nothing, right? Nobody wanted to believe what I said. My mama said it, so that's what's true. No matter what, because again, they didn't live in our house, but they know my mama for whoever they knew my mama was, whatever their relationship was, they didn't know her as a mother. They knew her as a sister, as a cousin, as a child. They don't know her as a mother. Only me and my two brothers do, right? So when they would come and I always say I was grown, I was grown. And when I went to foster care one time and the judge said every time, although you abused this child, every time, once nightfall, she would not stay in foster care. Y'all, every night, I don't care what foster home they put me in, how far they put me there. When nightfall came, trust and believe, if it's a door open, a window open, I'm getting out and I'm going right back to her. Although she was abusive, taking them stitcher cords would sometimes cut my skin and have me welted. I was going back home to her. As soon as they got sleep in that foster home, I was going back. The judge in Baltimore, Maryland said, listen, I'm tired. I'm tired. Every time you turn around, this child keep running. There's nothing else we can do for her. She keep running. So she told her straight up. She said in there, and I'll never forget it. She said, if you put your hands on her again, I'm going to do my best to put you under the jail. Y'all know what my mama told that lady? If I can't hit her, y'all can keep her. Huh. Put ice in for me, son. Cut that fan on. She said, if I can't hit her, y'all can keep her. And the judge didn't tell me back. She said, nah, I'm going to test you. You want to be, you going to show me. You going to show me. She going home with you. Right? So I went home with her. Right? I went home with her within a year. My mama got a heart disease out of nowhere. Walking my brothers to school one day and she just passed out. Right? She was healthy as an ox all the days before. Walking my brothers home for school one day, she just passed out, fell on the ground, walking to school. She had to went into cardiac arrest. She went to the hospital, found out she had a heart disease. Within a year, my mama was gone, right? But during that year, when that tail needed to be changed, because at some point she became immobile, she couldn't go to the bathroom. She had this little potty beside her chair, and all she really could take in was Ensure, right? That same little girl that she told the judge, and she stood in front of the judge and said, if I can't whoop her, you can keep her, was the one wiping her tail, making sure she got that Ensure. She only had 1 year with me for the roles to be reversed. You dogged her, but let's see if she take care of you. And I did. When my mama was in the hospital, and my one day when my auntie, everybody was up there, everybody used to always say how grown I was. My mama apologized in front of all them. She apologized. And they was all shocked. They said, dang, this whole time Mika ain't been lying. Oh no, but because I was a child, y'all thought I was lying. It wasn't until after my mama passed, I understood why she was such a broken woman, why she inflicted so much trauma on her children. She wasn't loved. She left her mama house at 16 years old and never returned. And then, like I said, when the time came and she passed away and I had to stay with her mama for a little while, I understood why. She left home at 16 to go to job corps and never returned. So she didn't have the love that I needed. She didn't have it to give me. Nobody gave it to her. But it took her to pass away and me to hear the stories about her coming up for me to understand why she couldn't love me. Right? And I understand that my daddy was abusive to her, so it was the love that he had for her that made her hate me. Because he loved me, but he abused her. And I was his only daughter. So when she passed away and I started hearing these stories about her, I started to understand. That's why she hated me so much, because he loved me. She hated me because of the way he loved me. And she felt like she deserved that love. She was his woman. She was the one sharing her body with him. She was the one sacrificing her body, having his children. But he was loving the children that she was having more than the vessel that was giving him the children. That's unfortunate. So I still mourn her every day of my life, although she was what some people may say the worst mama. I still mourn her every day of my life because her presence is missed, right? Being able to say I got a mama is missed. Even if she was the worst one. I miss being able to say I got a mama, I got a daddy. When they be like, with your mother, and when I fill out applications and they say your mama, your daddy. Sometimes now I still break down the crowd like I don't got one of those. I don't even got one of those. Like that's crazy. Even as a older adult in my current form, that's crazy to me. Like how can you not, the people who brought you in this world, how could they not be here with you? How could they not be here to guide you through life? How could they not be here to pick you up when you fall? How could they not be here when you sitting here and you going through traumas? You can't pick up the phone and say, Mama, I need you. Right? Because although she was the worst, cut that switch on, Drill. Although she was the worst, I could see myself the way I go through things in life, I would have been making that phone call. Right? But maybe in this life, in this time, I think she probably would have tried to make up the love she didn't give to me. I think she would have tried to make it up through my children. I'm very, very quite sure. I hold on to that because I think that's how she would have tried to make it up. But when I found out the childhood that she had, y'all, it was no way I could still carry that hate in my heart for my mom. There's no way I could carry that in my heart because she didn't deserve none of the stuff she went through. She didn't deserve it. But then it made me understand why she let men play with her, why she let men put her hands on her. Now, the traumas that I got from that is I don't allow men to play with me, right? But the down part of that is if my husband elevates his voice at me, I'm ready to fight, right? Everything he say to me, he can't say nothing. He said, I can't say nothing to you. But that's the trauma from my mama. Because I watch her let men put their hands on her. So me, I'm a hothead. You raise your voice at me, you might as well come on, y'all. Me in Buffalo wings, honey, and my nose. If you raise your voice at me, just please understand, it's going down. It's gonna go from 0 to 1,000. Even if that wasn't your intention, that's what's gonna happen because I ain't no punk. That's the way I see it, right? But then as I get older and start self-evaluating, I'm like, this is one of your traumas. Everybody ain't like the men your mama dealt with, right? You don't have to be on the defense all the time. But you can understand sometimes this is a man. He may raise his voice. It's called the emotion. Just like when you're emotional, you raise your voice, right? But I can't see it. It immediately becomes a threat to me. Who you talking to? I immediately get on the defense. What's up? I'm ready to box. Because before you touch me, I'm going to touch you. Now that's a trauma. And it makes me unable to effectively communicate with my significant other. I can't communicate. But I stand in it, right? When he tell me that, I stand on it. I don't try to give a rebuttal. I stand in it. You right. You right. You know, maybe. But at this point, I still have not yet gotten control of it. My children, I constantly ask them, is it something that I did coming up? Because I know a lot of stuff. I curse at y'all. I do. The adults, I curse at them. I do. When we talking or we having a aggressive argument, even though they don't curse, I will say something like, you know, get the F out my face or something like that. And I be like, did that create any traumas for y'all? And they be like, nah, mom, we used to just laugh at you. And I be like, for real, for real. I'm asking you for real because I'm trying to, if it did, I need to know now because I need to help y'all. Because unfortunately, I didn't know it was wrong, right? Because it was done to me my whole life. I was a long faced B, a banana faced B, um, be this, be that, everything under the sun, right? I was that my whole life, right? So I know I didn't want to call them those things, but I would say stuff like "get the F out my face," "go sit your ass down." You know, I was be still very aggressive with my mouthpiece, right? So I said, did that create any traumas in y'all, or did that make y'all feel like I was a bad mom? And these discussions we've had a long time ago. They be like, "Nah, mom, we know you just talk like that. You a hood." It ain't funny. My oldest son, he be like, "Nah, you kind of hood, mom, a little bit." He was like, "So I don't hold that against you." And he's so loving. He 20, he'll be 29 this year. He's so loving. He the one I had at 14. He's so gentle with me, right? He tries to be so gentle with me because we grew up together, right? So I asked all of them, like, I slowly asked all of them, do you feel like there's anything that I do in this life that I need to fix, baby? Because I want to fix it before before my time here is over. I want to fix it. Tell me how I can fix it. Because being a mama from the age of 14, in my mind, I'm like, it gotta be stuff that I could have did better. Like I said, we was talking about the credit stuff, right? Me and my son yesterday. I'm like, is there anything in this world that I could have done different? Because if I can fix you, I want to fix you now so you don't break your kids. I want to fix you now so you don't break your children. Because understand, anything I did, it was normal for me. It was never with the intentions of hurting you. It was my norm. And I felt like I got through it, so you should get through it too. It ain't take me out, so it shouldn't take you out. And that was that. But it was never with the intentions in the head of that I'm trying to be malicious towards you, or that I'm trying to downgrade you, or that I think less of you, or none of that. But the one thing that I always made sure that I did, I always tell my babies every day, I love you. I give hugs. That's always been my thing because those are two things that I never ever got from my parents. The short time I had them, I never got that. I can't remember one time I heard my mama say, I love you. So that was big to me. I said, I'm going to make sure when I have children, I'm going to make sure I tell them I love them every single day. And to this day, I stand firm on that. My babies can tell you, I'm constantly, I love you. I love you. I call her, we talking over the phone. I love you. Drell, am I lying? Come here. Just real quick for my live, son. This is my 70-year-old. I was just telling them, don't, and I'm daily with, I love you. Yeah. Daily, all day, be like, Mom, I love you too. I love you. It's all day. I give out hugs. I say, I love you. And don't I ask y'all sometimes, I be like, did I do anything when you coming up? Did I inflict any traumas on you? Yeah. I ask them stuff like that because I need to know. Because I may have messed up. I may have dropped the ball somewhere. But can't nobody else in this world tell me that I dropped the ball but them, the ones that I parented, right? And the ones that I'm still parenting. Only they can tell me. Because like I said, even being a teenage mama, who was around to tell me how to be a good mama when I didn't even have a good mama? But she was my mama nevertheless. Just that position alone carried weight, right? It carried weight in my life, and I didn't understand how important it was until it was gone, right? Well, I ain't gonna even say that because, like I said, every time I would go to foster care, I ran back to her, and the people just couldn't understand. Like, this lady tears you up. Why do you keep running back? I don't know. I just gotta be in. I know and I think now as I get older, I knew I had to protect her. In my mind, I had to protect her because she wasn't gonna protect herself. She felt like if she fought back, they would leave her. So she let it happen. Me and my kids still hug tight, peck on the lips. We all got in. They 15 and 17 is a bond no one can break. Amen. And that's important. That amen, love, not hate. Hey, Diana Little. It's important. Some of your kids require it and some of them don't. That's the difference. Is a lot of parents, even when you have multiple children, you try to love all your children the same. That's a no-go. Some children require more than the other ones. You have your independent children and you have your dependent children, right? But that's something that you as a mother or father have to take the time to figure out which is which, right? Through it all, you love them all, but some of them require just a little more. Kimberly Weber, what you talking about? What kid? Who you talking about? Don't get your stupid ass blocked. Get from off my live. Cause this ain't that. Don't come over here. I promise you, I'm the nicest person in this world, but don't come over here playing with me. Go play with your mammy hoe. Let me delete you off here. Let me. Oh no, son, don't say nothing. Don't. See, I got out of pocket. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, but I was in the midst of talking about my children. Don't come playing with me. Don't come playing with me, baby. Go play with your. Go ahead. Play with your roles or go play with your man. Go play with your children. Don't come over here in my, like Brittany say, my establishment playing with me. Because you don't have to agree with nothing I say. All right? You don't have to agree with nothing I say. I ain't on here to try to make nobody convince nobody of nothing. I'm talking about what I want to talk about. I ain't on here trying to get y'all to agree with nothing. I'm grown as hell, and so is y'all. At 15 and 17, they still call me, but still are independent and have jobs and hold their responsibilities accountable for themselves. That's right, love and hate, and they are. My babies are. They do work too, and they still, but it's still. I just think it's very important because you just never know. I think it's just so much. Even watching my mama demise so fast, right? Out of nowhere, then within a year she was gone, right? A lot of times we take the ones that we love for granted because we feel like they'll always be there. That's not always the case, right? You never know the day, the hour, the second, or the minute. Even your children, even in this society, even in this world, you can sit around here and play with your children if you want to. You sit around here and think that your children gonna always be there if you want to, and you sit around here and play with them. Baby, God is plucking his flowers. If you love somebody, let them know you love them. Act like you got some sense. Let them know you love them. Because you never know when that's gonna be just gonna be your last time. You never know when it's gonna be your last opportunity to show them that you love them. 8 or 80. Love them with everything in you because tomorrow may never come. And God never said get in to fit in. He said go through to get to. Nowhere did he include that you're supposed to be around here following nobody to their demise and eventually yours. Because understand, God got your address too. He see everything you doing. You ain't gonna get no pass because you was being and want to follow somebody else. Nah, he gonna knock at your door too. You gonna have to reap the seeds of the harvest that you sown too. You gonna reap the harvest of the seeds that you sown too. Like be a leader and not a follower is something that we all was taught. And there's a lot of people on this internet that I like. Can you put ice in it for me, baby, please? And don't try to judge because I'm asking myself for some ice. I'm on here talking to y'all. Dang. It's a lot of people on here that I love. I love to hear people's stories because you never know who your story will help, right? But I ain't finna never get so invested in a stranger that I lose who I am. That I don't stand firm on what I believe in. That I won't stand my ground on who I am. I'm still who I am. I ain't gonna lose myself in a total stranger. That's the most simplest mess I ever seen in my life. How you lose yourself in a stranger? That's just a lot like a lot of people, the conversations that I post, which is my content, me and my family, about my granddaughter when we be having conversations. People like, oh, she too grown. Oh, worry about yourself. She overstepped boundaries. Don't listen, boundaries are mine to set. Because you wouldn't allow it, good for you. Kudos to you. She ain't your granddaughter, she mine. The way I allow anybody to talk to me or handle me, that's my business. You don't tell me what my boundaries are supposed to be. I like to let the children go as far as they're going to go so I know how far they'll go. So I won't be that mama, that grandma when somebody call you and say your child did this and that or your grandchild did this and that. They're not my baby. My baby would never. Oh, yes, the hell your baby will. And your baby did. So I love to give them enough rope. Show me who you are. So I see the things that I may need to help you work on, or that your mama may need to help you work on, so we can make sure that this is not behavior that you carry into your adulthood. Because everybody want to be somebody. Because you got to be able to sit in some rooms. Everybody is already somebody. So I stopped at the wrong place. Everybody is already somebody, but I'm saying you have to be able to, like I tell my babies, don't conform to any room. When you walk in, your presence alone should radiate off enough that the room conform to you. You don't conform nowhere. This ain't that. You don't go nowhere to fit in. Either people gonna take you for who you are, or those ain't your type of people. You don't need to be in the presence of those people. Point blank, period. And no ifs, ands, or buts, no questions about it. We don't do follow the leader around these parts. So whether you like me or don't like me, I could care less, right? And I'm not saying what I'm saying to make nobody. I'm giving my outlook on what some things that I've seen on the internet and my own life too. I've inserted my own problems too, right? Because again, I have no thrill to get out here and try to worry about, trying to press on nobody, because God is handling who he need to handle. And he gonna continue to. And like I said, anybody that was a part of it and that keep doing it, however it go, it's gonna go. We all got stuff. I got stuff that I got to answer to in this life too. But I make sure that the seeds that I've sown, even if they're a little messed up, they ain't that bad, baby. Because I already know that God's wrath is something else, right? I accept that. So when I go through things in life, or I come up short, I'm like, all right, God, I see you. I understand. I did this. I take that. I take that. I did it. I planted that seed. Now I got to reap this harvest, right? I take that. You know. And my son said, "You the most cussing spiritual person I ever heard." I said, "What you mean by that?" He was like, "Mom, you still very, you very rough around the edges." He was like, "But you will put," he was like, "You will put the love of God into somebody so quick." I said, "Cause you got to understand, I'm perfectly imperfect in God's image. God already know who I am. He know I'm a one old fool, but he loved me despite of. But he know if I ain't gonna tell you nothing else, I'm gonna tell you about the goodness of God. Because only God could have born a 14-year-old with no parents and no guidance from anywhere else, was in the midnight lounge at 15, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Because nobody cared. As long as they was getting that check for my mom and daddy being deceased, nobody cared about what I did. Nobody didn't know. I don't even think one time somebody told me, if I say I'm going somewhere, that somebody said, no, you can't go. It took a counselor at my school to step up. Miss Priester. I'll never forget her. Miss Priester, I used to get mad when I was in high school. And when the teacher make me mad, since I had my own apartment and my own car, I be like, man, I'm about to go. I ain't about to stay here. I ain't got to listen to all this. I take care of myself, right? But I was still going to high school at the time. But again, I was in my own spot. So I carried myself like that. I'm like, I ain't got to listen to all this. I'm out. So I would leave school. I would hop in my car and leave. Because, like, again, I'm operating, even though I'm a child, I got to operate in adult form, right? Because I am adult. I'm the only one responsible for me and my children. Go right there with your daddy, mama. Go ahead, Rara. Go. That's my granddaughter, y'all. She like, Rara, go to your daddy. Go to your daddy. Um, I was operating in my own form because I felt like I ain't got to stay here if I don't want to. So I was messing myself up trying to operate as an adult, but not the mentality of an adult fully, right? I had some of it, but I ain't have it all because I was, of course, still learning. Hold on. I wasn't operating fully in it, right? Look at that type of nose. I wasn't operating fully in that because, of course, like I said, I was, in high school. But she pulled me to the side one day. I was doing something, and that lady jacked me up in the collar, right? She said, "Little girl, let me tell you something. You may have given up on yourself, but I haven't. I've been watching you." And she said, "I did a little research on you." She said, "I see that both of your parents deceased, and you kind of like, you live on your own with your children." She said, "We got the court papers that you're emancipated. Um, what are you doing to yourself?" You know, she pulled me down. This is the first time in my life anybody ever asked me, "What is your goals? What is it that you want to do in this life?" And at first, I couldn't answer her. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Thank you so much, Brittany. Yeah, y'all, please hit the like button for me and share. And what else? What else it is, Brittany? Like, share, and subscribe. That's right, Brittany. But anywho, she pulled me to the side. She said, "Baby, you lost, right?" I said, nah, I'm not lost. I'm trying to make it. That's it. If I don't make it for my children at home, who will? So she said, so you think this how you make it? Every time a teacher says something to you or any a peace person of authority step up, you gotta stick your chest out. You an adult. She said, if you believe that you're adult in your mind and you operate under that frequency, you don't have to put that on blast everywhere you go, right? Your actions is going to speak for itself. Hey, Miss Tammy Topics. Okay, you're in the bushes. She said your actions are going to speak for yourself. She said if you say you're adult, operate in that frequency. Show us you're adult. Adults don't do the stuff that you're doing, right? So she went on. She said until you graduate, she said I'm gonna be right here with you, right? And that lady became everything that I needed. When I fell short, she was there to pick me up. When I was around doing too much or disrespecting myself, she would pull me to the side. She would still jack me up in that collar and be like, yeah, get yourself together. Get yourself right. What you doing to yourself? Love yourself. Your body's a temple. All the things that I wish my mama would have told me, she told me, right? She started to tell it to me. So I was able to get that to my daughters, right? But I say all that to say this. She could have chosen to be like everybody else in the world that just felt like I was a lost cause because that was the popular thing to do. Oh, that's right, Britt. That was the popular thing to do. I was lost. I was a teenager walking around with all these kids. Um, Nobody pat me on the back because I chose not to stay up in nobody's house with my kids. I chose to get emancipated, get in my own spot, raise my own kids. I wanted my kids to have their own space, but I had never had nobody to cheer me on for that, right? My grandma called me one day. I didn't even tell my grandma I was moving out, but let me tell you what happened. The Social Security check didn't come, right? I had been gone from her house, y'all, for months. I hadn't heard from her nothing. At first, I didn't know I could take my Social Security check with me, right? So I was under the age of 18. So of course, where I'm from, you can't get no food stamps. You can't get no benefits at all, right? So, but I still was like, me and my kids, we gonna have our own, right? So then somebody, the same one, Miss Priest, she was like, why is your check still going to your grandma? She was like, now that you own your own, you emancipated, you need to go down there and get your check changed to you, right? Again, it's for my mom and daddy being deceased. She said for you and them children. So I'm like, okay. So she took me down there. She helped me do everything to get the check turned. Y'all know I didn't hear from my grandma until that check didn't come. Thank you so much, Miss Walker 42. I'm listening from the bushes. I subscribe and hit the like button. Y'all know I didn't hear from my grandma until that check didn't come. 16 years old. Months. I didn't hear from her until the check didn't come. And she called me, Mika, you done heard anything about, yeah, grandma, I got my check. What you mean you got your check? I got it to where it's gonna come to me and not you. I don't live in your house. It's me and my children over here. Oh, she called me everything but the child of God. Now, you months that went by, you ain't thought to check on me and nothing. I could have been alive. You didn't even care. You know I had kids with me. You didn't care. Long as the check was coming. So, like I said, even after my parents was gone, it was still no love left here for me. So those children became everything in this world to me. Like I always tell them right now. Y'all be good out here, man. Y'all all I got. Y'all all I got in this world. Y'all everything good about this world to me. And I need all nine of y'all. Every grandchild, every child, I need y'all, right? I don't just want y'all, I need y'all. Yeah, it was all about the money, Miss Tammy Topic. She didn't care nothing about me. Because had she just gave me a little bit of love, my life may have been a little different. But hey, whatever. It is what it is. I don't care. She couldn't love her own child, So when I learned that too, I no longer held her responsible. She was money hungry. My mama, unfortunately, was looking for love in all the wrong places. Whatever she had to sacrifice for the love and to make somebody love her, unfortunately, that's what she did. That's very unfortunate for her, right? But at the end of the day, God took her home, so she in the best place that she could ever be. Nobody can't hurt her again. That's the solace that I find in that. Nobody can't hurt her again, baby. She good. She good. And her and my daddy are together. However that may look. Right? Whatever that may be. But I said this whole thing to say this, y'all. No matter how good or bad your life is, stand in your truth, right? Keep your mouth off other people because God has a tendency to reverse the roles, right? Keep your mouth off people. Do the best to be the best you, even if you are older. Long every day that you wake up, God still has a purpose for your life. Choose to do something good. If you ain't where you want to be in this life, keep moving. It'll come, but you got to keep moving, right? God don't bless mess. God is not the author of confusion. He's not going to bless you while you tearing somebody else down. So understand everything that come to you that you may accept or that you think good, the devil give gifts. God give blessings. Blessings withstand everything. Gifts don't, right? Gifts are just to continue to reel you in, right? To get you where the devil needs you to get. So when your day comes, you already know. You already are indebted, right? Because you continue to be an evil, vindictive, awful person just for the sake of a conversation or the sake of trying to make other evil, vindictive people follow you, right? And they all gonna follow you to hell, right? That's just how that goes. Just like God say, bring lost souls home. The devil got the same kind of workers. Y'all, come on now. The devil was once an angel. Stop acting like y'all ain't good at this. Stop acting like y'all not already knowledgeable about what be going on. Stop acting like it's an illusion because it's you participating in the foolishness. Stop. That applies to all of us. We all fall short of God's glory daily. You repent, you ask God for forgiveness. I tell him every day. At least 3 days a week, I be like, God, I'm sorry. You knew, Lord, I'm on probation again. I know, God, I know you're sick of me. God, I'm still learning. Even at my old age, I'm still learning. Every day, I'm still learning. But I started with nothing, right? So everything that I'm learning every day is trying to slowly build up to something because at first it was nothing. It literally was nothing, right? So now that it's something that's starting to form, I'm all right, y'all. I'm working every day, y'all. I'm working every day to be better. Every day of my life to be better. And like I said, there's a lot of people on here I love, even Brittany and Kim. I love them too. I love watching them too. Um, for the laughter. When there's anything else, they already know I'm out to chat. Usually, for the last 2 days, I done had a couple things to say because it's just ridiculous. But usually I back because that ain't my speed. That ain't what I do. You know, because I that ain't me. But I always tell them, even on the like y'all, it's so much. Y'all got so much more to offer, man. Y'all got so much more to offer. Y'all really bring laughter to people. Y'all really bring joy to people. Y'all have people on here laughing. Y'all not don't have to say a negative word. You can get on here and crack jokes. Y'all make noises. Y'all make sounds. Brittany, she talks in this baby talk. She got this comedic part of her. Like, I promise y'all, it may be a little slower, y'all, but positivity is everybody in the world don't want to be negative. Everybody in the world don't, lift up off negativity. And I'm thankful that y'all got a balance of both. And I actually lately into some, to things went the way they went, it was more positive. But I just see great things for y'all too, ladies, and a lot of other people on here. It all come together as it should. But I just commend who y'all are. I commend the fact that y'all, you know, still pushing. Y'all ain't giving up. Y'all don't care. Y'all standing y'all truth. You know, trying to speak truth to what wanna be power. That's why you can't do nothing but respect it. You can't do nothing but respect somebody that's standing their truth. But people rather live off the illusion. They rather follow the illusion of a person. They don't want to be with a woman who is standing here and say, I got this, I got that going on, I got this going on. I still stand in my truth. I still love who I love. I did it. Like, that's the type of person I want to follow. Because me and you got something in common. We imperfect. I don't got nothing in common with a wannabe perfect person. Right? You can't offer me nothing. You can't offer me nothing to grow. I love imperfect people that stand on the truth, stand on their thrones of imperfectness, and just be like, I know my today won't be tomorrow. I know that God will turn it around for me. I'm going to do the work, right? I'm gonna do the work so God will turn it around for me. I know that God need me to take the first step. He'll take the rest. I know that God need my participation, right? But in the meantime, I'm not perfect, baby. Let me tell you, I'm gonna speak life into you. I'm gonna give you God, but understand, right? God's still working on me, baby. I'm under construction. hmm I say that every day. I'm under construction, but I know God, right? Because I know what God has done in my life. He shake his head at me. He probably shaking his head at me at some of this stuff on his live. Like, girl, you just get on my everlasting nerve. I can just imagine when my time comes. He probably gonna be like, let me tell you something. I just don't know. He may make me go to the back of the line a couple times while he think. And I understand. I just want to make it in, when it's my time, God. You know, I just want to make it in. That's my overall. Because again, that's one thing that's guaranteed about this life. We all shall perish. We just all transitioning through here, baby. And I just want to make it, you know, to them golden floors in that room in that mansion that's made just for me. I want to make it. I be trying, but I'm still very imperfect. But I know God just be shaking his head sometimes because I look up at him sometimes after I do something because I'm very good at being accountable. I look up to this guy and be like, God, I'm sorry. Now, come on now. You knew I was going to do that before I did. Now, why you just saying, he be like, no, 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 no. That's free will, right? I give you free will too. It's up to you what you do with it. But understand, I'm watching you through it all. Through your free will and through the things I got you through, I'm watching you. And I'm going to hold you accountable for all of it, right? I'm going to hold you accountable for all of it. But y'all, I just had to get that off my chest, baby, because I've been holding this thing. Ooh, baby. Ooh, sorry. I've been holding this thing for days and days and days. And it's just so sad. It's just so sad to watch so much stuff that going on here and to watch how many horrific people, that really exist in this world. It's just horrific. It's just horrific to see how hateful people are. It's just horrific how people actually try to hide behind masks and illusions of who they are and who they support. Because at the end of the day, like I said, no matter what, I won't stand on business. I am who I am. You ain't got we. It ain't for us to like the same people. We don't gotta like the same people. It don't matter who we are. Like it's all our business, right? But at the same time, one thing that ain't never up for grabs, you ain't finna never play with mine. I don't care what they did to me, baby. That's mine. Mind your manners. Mind your business when it come to mine. If mine say something off the wall or ever get on here and go crazy, let them go crazy. Because understand, I got a mouthpiece. I can handle myself. Don't never play with my child. That's just it. That's all. Don't play with my baby. I don't care how old they get. They're going to always be my baby. You know what I'm saying? Keep your mouth off my child, my chilling. That's just that's just that. Like I can handle myself. Like don't do that. Like that's the worst thing. Then just to see people try to wish bad, threatening people jobs. Like what is you doing? As a parent, that's what you raise your children to one day set them free in this world and one day watch them progress, right? And watch them be way better than you ever been. If you're a parent, I hope that's your overall goal. I hope you ain't in competition with your child. I hope you don't want less than or scarcity for your own child, for the children that you carried in your womb. I pray that you want them to be 1,000 times better than you. That should be the overall goal for us all, right? And you're going to have some that's going to do that. And you're going to have some, those, remember, go back to that word I said, dependent ones, right? But hey, all in all, they're my babies, right? It's safer to go play in traffic and play with people children. I don't care what they saying to me. Like me and my 26-year-old. Me and her been butting heads since she been a little one, honey, cause she feisty. She feisty. We'll go days without talking. Probably like 2 days. We can go like 2 days. Cause she got an attitude just like mine. I accept that. I received that. I done got to a point now when I know it ain't no me and her right like really. Cause like I told you, I'm rough around the edges. You know what I'm saying? So when I say something, I may say it a little aggressive. Like, girl, stop playing with yourself. You know what I'm saying? And not literally playing with herself. Don't play with my daughter. I'm talking about like fumbling herself. Stop playing with yourself. You know what I'm saying? And she be like, Mom, you always, and she that one that throw it back in. You forgave Dad. I'm like, this ain't about me. She that child. That child be like, girl. That girl that make you face your truth. You be like, Don't be disrespectful. She that one, right? And in reality, she ain't being disrespectful. She making you face your BS like you trying to approach her about her BS, right? She that one that's gonna make you look in the mirror and be like, I just need to hush. Yeah, I did forgive. Dang, I am still with him. Oh, dang. Yeah, I used to love him. Girl, I did let him play with me. She that one that's gonna throw it back in your face like, Mom, I know you ain't talking. Then I be like, ooh, you so disrespectful. But really, she ain't. Right? She making me stand in my truth. If you gonna come here and judge me for my truth, Mom, if you gonna tell me what I shouldn't do, understand I gotta go through my growing pains just like you had to. Unfortunately, you're not gonna like some of the things, Mom, that I gotta go through while I'm going through my growing pains, Mom. You're not gonna like it. But long as you just make sure I make it out. Believe that you've instilled enough in me, Mom, that I'll make it out. See that child. Believe that you've instilled enough in me, Mom, that I'm gonna make it out. Whether I forgive and go back or whatever, Mom, just know I got you. I remember. I remember what you told me. Those things on the forefront of my mind. But understand, Mom, I gotta go through my own growing pains. I gotta do me, like you had to do you. And that be the hardest thing sometimes, watching your children do them. Cause sometimes doing them, you be like, I know good and god dang well you ain't. But love is love, man. We can't stop them children from going through. It pisses you off. But baby, you gotta let them go through. Even when you let them see them playing, like you so used. You gotta understand to you they everything, but not to everybody. To everybody don't feel the same way about your child that you do. So you gotta understand when they decide to go out into that world and be grown and share their bodies with people, have children with people, baby, that control, you gonna lose control. And sometimes you gotta just sit back and just cry, but you gotta just hope that you've given them everything that you had, like my baby said, and watch them make it out. And if they call on you, if you can help them a little bit, then help them a little bit. But understand, I can't carry you because I gotta understand once you get out of this situation, if God forbid you gotta get out of it and go to another one, you won't make the same mistakes in both. So it is what it is. But it's just hard being a parent, y'all. It's hard being a child too, because a lot of trauma filled adults raising children. So there's a lot of trauma filled adults out here raising trauma filled children. And once they start seeing the children that are not able to compress the trauma that they've inserted in their lives, and those children acting out, they don't understand why. They don't want to take no accountability for the traumas that they've caused because to them they don't even understand that it was traumas. They just to them it was just life. To them it was just something they was going through. But be receptive of the fact that your children say that they're traumas. I don't care how little or minute they may seem to you. To them, they was something big. You can't tell anyone how to receive your treatment of them. Your intentions, that may have not been your intentions, but it's still the way they received it. Fix it. Move on. Everybody just be willing to fix it. If you love each other enough, if each other is worth the fight, fix it. If it's not worth the fight, love each other from a distance. That's what I always tell my children. Because I know as the growner y'all get, I pray that they don't ever come on in them try to step to me crazy. But like I told them, just know, because one thing I've always told them, if you ever think you're going to be disrespectful to me, understand, you can go on about your business, okay? I gave you life, but I can't live it for you. But understand, me, I ain't gonna take no disrespect because I sacrificed my whole life for children. And it ain't their fault that I became a mama at 14. It was my truth. Because I didn't have nobody to guide me. Like I said, both my parents was gone. But at the end of the day, I gave up everything for y'all. Disrespect, I will not accept, baby. Now, like I said, if I inserted any traumas, I didn't know it was just a way of life for me. But if you don't tell me, don't turn around and try to use it against me. If you don't tell me that I've inserted traumas in your life, don't come back later and try to say I'm a bad mom. Don't come back and try to say that I did this, that, and that to you that affected the way you. I asked you, bruh. Or sister, I asked you. I asked you because I felt like I may have dropped the ball some places because I know I didn't know nothing about being a parent. I just became one. So I asked you, as you was coming up all through life, that was a question I always asked because I wanted to catch it right then and there because I didn't want to have a bunch of trauma filled adults that will one day have children. Like at somebody got to be willing to break that generational curse. Somebody got to be willing to break the traumas. Somebody got to be willing to say enough is enough. This can't be a bloodline thing. Somebody got to be able to stand in their truth, accept accountability for the hurt that they've caused other people, and stop it so that it doesn't become a revolving cycle. Because the world is only getting worse. So you think you're going to have little mean people walking around here with attitudes and they're going to have a long life? No, it don't work like that. Stop the hurt in its tracks. Be receptive of the fact that you inflicted it. And stop it in its tracks. Be willing to. Even if you got to cry, feel shame for yourself for a second, accept the shame. Accept the shame, fix it, and move forward. Okay? That's just what I'm saying. And that's just, that's for me too. Like, it's just for everybody. Like, it's just a lot, man. This world wicked, man. This some wicked work. This world wicked, and a lot of people falling right in line with the wickedness. Like at some point, somebody gotta want to be different. At some point, somebody gotta want more for yourself and your family. At some point, somebody gotta be willing not to. Gotta have gotta not be willing to do anything for a dollar. At some point, somebody gotta be willing to say, "All money ain't good money." My family is not what I'm going to be willing to sacrifice for a dollar. All right, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm sorry. You bring it to a platform, the same platform that I use to try to down somebody else, because see, that's how God works, right? Right? The same place where you had me messed up at is the same place I'm going to expose you at. That's how it works. Now let's see how you stand in your truth, but not being receptive of it only going to make it happen again. Whether it's today or months or years down the line, it's only going to happen again until you do it right, until you fix it. Fix it right the first time so it won't have to revisit you. Right? Do it right the first time. Get it right. Be receptive. Stand in the truth of who you are. Because you lying about your life ain't going to change it. That lying don't take no effort. That's why when I first, like I said, when I first came out here, I put it on the line, baby. It's nothing. No. Mm-mm. So what you'll see me do is grow. Right? You'll see me grow. I'm everything, though. Right? Every day that God wake me up, He tell me He still got a purpose for my life. That alone makes me everything to me, right? But I'm not rich. I don't, I live paycheck to paycheck. My kids don't have no wants or needs. I'm thankful for that. But I go through life. Again, I started with nothing. So of course my journey gonna be a little longer than others if God say so, if He gonna let me stay here so I can see the rainbow at the end of my storm, right? If God gonna let me stay here to see the greater that's supposed to come later, if God gonna that's up to Him though. That's His choice. But I'm gonna enjoy the ride in the midst of it. And I'm gonna stand on who I am. I'm gonna be true to who I am. Right? And in the midst of that, I'm gonna always still give God His credit. You know? But y'all, I've been on here hour and 23 minutes, y'all. May y'all today be better than yesterday. May your tomorrow be better than today. Know that every day God blows that breath in your body, you're one step closer to your season. Do not fumble yourself worrying about the world, baby. Because understand, when it's your time to go, you're going alone. Ain't no caskets in that bunk bed. You're going bye-bye. By yourself. Like Brittany. By yourself. That's the bed. I'm out.